and the mouse just ran into his hand. Tom was amazed. "And if you ever help any other animals, all you need to do is leave them in the box, and I will come and find them a good home." Tom nodded, but his throat felt a little tight. He would miss Spot. The boy cradled the mouse to his chest, and Tom wished he could have done that. He glanced away at the sound of a footstep and saw Charles walking toward him. He glanced back to the boy and started in surprise. He'd gone. Tom scrambled to his feet and took a few steps down the path, but the boy wasn't there. "Hi, Tom," Charles said, smiling. "Did you see the boy I was talking to?" He didn't know his name. He should have asked his name. Maybe if he had done that, the boy might have stayed to play like the other children after church. Not that Mommy ever said he was allowed to join in, but he'd watched them. Charles shook his head. "No, but I was looking for you." "You were?" Tom asked curiously. People didn't usually look for him. "I'm going to be your new cook very soon, so I need to know if there's anything you don't like." "Broccoli." Tom pulled a face, and Charles laughed. "Actually, I think that's a rule." "A rule?" Tom asked, walking back up to the house. "Like not talking at the same time as Daddy?" Charles smiled. "No, it's a 5-year-old rule." "What's a 5-year-old rule?" Tom asked, fascinated. "It means when boys are 5, they have to hate broccoli, but that changes when they're 6. "It does?" Tom asked in surprise. He'd never heard of this. "What happens when you're 6? "You generally hate something different." Tom thought about that. "I like strawberry jam." Just in case that happened when he was 6. But he didn't want to be 6 if that meant he hated strawberry jam. Charles turned and bent down so he was looking at Tom. "I like strawberry jam too. And pancakes." Tom's eyes grew round. He'd had pancakes one time when Mrs. Kaczynski had been sick and a lady from the church cooked. They'd been awesome, but he never got them again. Charles stood and held his hand out. Tom grasped it shyly. "Tom," Charles said just as they got to the kitchen door, "do you think you could do something for me?" Tom nodded eagerly because anyone who didn't make him eat broccoli and liked strawberry jam was the best sort of person. "Next time you find an animal asleep, like the mouse, come and find me before you wake it up." "Why?" Tom asked, surprised. "Because it might frighten some people." "But why?" That made no sense. Charles chuckled. "Can you imagine what Mrs. Kaczynski would have said if Spot had run around her kitchen?" Tom grinned. He supposed Charles was right. Mrs. Kaczynski would have screamed, and that might have given him another headache. And he'd had enough of those. Chapter 1. It was as if the devil was holding his hand out and tempting him to dance. Was he foolish, wishing for monsters to fight to save him wrestling with himself? "He knows you're here." Lucan ignored Kay's comment. Of course Tom knew he was damn here. They were all in the kitchen. Okay, so Lucan was standing by the door, technically as far out of the kitchen as he could be without actually not being in the room. "You are one of the few people I have ever met that makes more noise when you are silent than if you screamed the room down." "I don't scream." "Oh, I'm sorry. You yell in a manly fashion." Lucan didn't even dignify that with a grunt. After a second, "It's not like I'm trying to hide." But he was. Except he'd run out of time and he had no idea what to do. Lance joined him. "Did you get him a gift?" Lucan squirmed internally. He knew what Lance wasn't saying was louder than what he was. "Please don't tell me you bought him a video game." Lance groaned, which made Lucan smile a little. Mel had done his best to teach Lance the virtues of something called Fortnite, but Lance said he battled enough already and didn't need to do it for pleasure. Gawain had gotten him some cardiology textbook from the 1830s as a joke because of his wish to study medicine, but that had actually cost thousands of dollars and taken Gawain weeks to hunt down. Kay had gotten him the latest iPhone. Allie had bought him a painting while they'd been in Paris from an old man who painted watercolors by the banks of the Seine. No, he hadn't bought him anything. He'd made something, thinking it would be nothing. A small gift he could laugh off, except it hadn't been. It had taken him hours, and that seemed more